Hi, this is Raj. Namaste, and here we are at the Liberation Station with a very interesting person who has seen the world, literally seen the world by traveling around the world, and she has so many stories to tell us, and I'm sure those stories will be very inspiring. So today we have Priya Gupta, a very interesting personality. She's not only just a teacher, but she has traveled all over the world and literally gone to places where not many have been. And she's also into acting, which was her hidden talent or passion, which now she's exploring, and she's doing exceptionally well in that. And she has many more things to share. So I take you and introduce you to Priya Gupta.
Thank you so much for a wonderful introduction. I was smiling all the time as you were introducing me, just to know that people think about so many things about me. That's really nice. So, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
What happens when you ask a woman to introduce herself? The first thing that comes in her mind is, I'm a mom. You know, that is the first impression someone gets. But then there are so many layers to every personality. And when you dig deeper, each one of us, maybe what you in a cliched way call the common man, has so many things to offer. I'm really grateful to be given the opportunity to share that with you here. So, as you rightly said, I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, I'm a sailor, and not many people know I am a geologist too. I'm an earth scientist.
Interesting.
Yes, I've done my post graduation and a dissertation on groundwater. Apart from that, this talent that you spoke about, acting, I would like to say that when we were growing up, we did not have these kind of opportunities that children today have. They are very savvy, they know how to face the camera, they know the technicalities. We were very, very simple and very innocent. Every script was written by us, every scene enactment, every set was done by ourselves, and we just go out on stage and give our best. That is the base from where I come from. And of course, then there was a break with a lot of other things, job, post graduation, and things like that. Then recently, I got an opportunity to showcase that side of me.
So I will start off with something which is my personal interest or subject of interest, and that is education. Today, I have come to the conclusion that education, which primarily makes the children dependent, should be more oriented towards making them independent. In other words, it should not be job oriented education, it should be something that gives them the wings to fly. What are your views on education?
Yeah, firstly, let me tell you that our education system is now going through a huge shift, a paradigm shift to exactly what you are speaking about. As we teachers are getting trained, retrained, learning, unlearning whatever we knew, it is very clear in all our minds to follow the three main pillars of the national education policy. Right from when the child starts his preschool, nursery, till the child is going to get out as a 12th standard, as a young adult into the society, it will be our endeavor to prepare a fully motivated, self-motivated and capable individual. I have always felt, and this is not just now, right since the beginning, your education or what you study should be your passion. What you do with it later in life, whether you turn it into a vocation, whether you turn it into your career, is something that is completely different and separated from education per se.
As a teacher, what I want to understand is today this is the school, and this is the university, and this is the whole and soul, the alpha and beta. And when the child has this power in hand, what is the relevance of school itself?
Right. So actually, they spurt in students as young as 6 and 7-year-old kids getting a fully loaded smartphone in the hand started with the pandemic, which we all know. Previous to that, every parent was conscious enough not to hand over gadgets to the child. Now, this has become a necessity. So, what we have done is, and I'm honestly telling you, it is not going to go out of the life of students or children. It just cannot. But what we as teachers do to make it more relevant to the students is we vet each and every site that we would like the child to look at. There are so many safety measures that have been put in. If parents are educated as to what they can hand to their child, I don't see any problem in a student accessing such huge amount of information with the capable guidance of a teacher who vets these sites and says this is relevant to you and this is at your age level. So I think it can be worked
So,
out.
Priya, you have traveled extensively and now you're teaching. So, how has traveling changed you as a person, and how you as a teacher is different from your immediate counterpart?
Right. So when you travel, it's not just for me, in general, I can say, when you travel, you observe. When you observe culture, you observe geography, you observe customs. It helps you to understand the person in front of you. It develops empathy. And that is a bedrock of any education, any person who says I'm going to school. What is the end aspect? What is the end result we want from that? We want to make a holistic individual going out of the school, giving a holistic individual to the society. Now, having traveled so much, having traveled to parts of the world, honestly, I'm telling you, Raj, you couldn't point them out on a map. We had gone to such tiny ports and we've gone to such beautiful places that it actually has made me humble towards nature. It has made me realize that there is a thing bigger than me, bigger than all of us, that needs our love and care. So, as an EVS teacher, if I'm standing in class and I'm able to deliver my lesson with passion, which I genuinely feel, I'm 100% sure that tomorrow, when my student is in a decision-making capability as a town and country planner, as a punch member, or as any higher authority to deal with highways or ports, he or she will have this basic bedrock given by me, that someone touched that child, someone gave him this view that there is something bigger than you and you need to protect it for posterity, for the next generation. So that is what
So,
I.
to be very specific, let's say if someone is into a teaching profession, either a teacher or a tuition teacher or a professor, or someone who is connected with academics, what are the two or three things that you would like to share from your own experience that would make sharing information to the children much more interesting, and how would that information or the mode of sharing information impact them much more than the ordinary method of passing on that information, which happens in a normal
Yes.
classroom?
So what you're trying to say is that can we move away from the lecture basis, the lecture method, and make the education more inclusive and more involved? The child has to be an involved learner where he or she is getting into a phase where they know what to learn, why to learn, and how to learn. So to put your this answer very succinctly or a little simple, I would say the first thing the teacher's job is to make the child comfortable in his or her own space, zone, and level. When you know the child's level and you know that the child is coming from this particular level, it becomes much more easy to develop a lesson plan. Your lesson planning has to be very strong. It has to be broken down to the child's level for a lower classes I'm talking about. As you move higher, the child has gained the elementary knowledge. You can always go into abstract concepts and they will still grasp it. But how to impart the abstract concepts, like for example of geometry or trigonometry, it again comes back to the teacher's ability to break it down, make it so simple and so relevant with real life examples. You are going to use trigonometry just to say the trajectory of probably the height or the angle at which a mango is on a tree. So you're going to you're going to throw your stone or whatever, you're going to, just give you an example.
Yeah.
You're going to use a whole lot of physics in that. So a teacher has to be very clear to move away from the lecture method and go into involved learning and self-learning. This is the second thing. So after comfort, it's getting the child involved in their own way. Having a very strong lesson plan and a relevant lesson plan. And the last thing would be very thorough with your subject knowledge. you have to keep upgrading yourself. You cannot say that I passed in 1985, so my knowledge is more or less the same and nothing has happened in the world. That doesn't work. That really doesn't work. So if a teacher is conscious enough to upgrade, to talk to people, to go to the universities, go back to school yourself, I think it goes a long way in making your class interesting and the child getting what exactly he or she is supposed to gain from that lecture. So this is what I would suggest every teacher should aim for.
So now that you are into acting, which I understand is obviously coming out of a lot of passion and an inner sense of calling, how would you describe this new avenue that you have found for yourself?
Well, I would say it's amazing. What I was, impressed was the hard work that goes behind the scene. The hours, endless hours of script writing, proofreading, and rereading, and then getting the right kind of person to emote that particular thing. The director has exactly the notion that he or she wants, and for me personally, it is how not to act. It was actually the other way around, that don't put on an act. See, there's acting and there's putting on an act. So to unlearn that part, do not put on an act as per the script. So that has been a very steep learning curve for me. And what really it's that call when it's given for the camera, roll camera. It just somehow, I don't know what happens, something changes and I dive right into the character I'm supposed to do. Maybe it happens with everyone, I don't know, but it definitely happens with me. So I would just say that it's an amazingly fun journey for me. I don't mind the endless hours of wait in the heat or the sun or the rain. I just want the call to action to be given, and then I will just take off. At least that's how it is for me.
So, if you have to sum up this small conversation, and if you have to share a message as we strive to work toward inspiring others, the whole concept at Nirvana, right from its inception, is to inspire. Humor, of course, becomes a very strong model to inspire. But nevertheless, if you have to pass on a message to the viewer, what would it be? You can.
Raj, honestly, I'm not reached that level where I can give that kind of gyan or whatever, really. But yes, when I look at women around me, when I look at, you say, ordinary homemakers, housewives, teachers, people who just get up in the morning, do their work, I would sort of tell that there's something in you, there's something, a spark that if you have the time, if you have the will, you can always ignite it. And if not, if you're very satisfied with what you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. I think when you take any small thing and do it to the best of your ability, I think at the end of the day, when you're looking at the mirror, you're just going off to sleep, you have a smile on your face and you say, I have had a good day. So I do that. I have a reflective time for myself. I do think, did I influence a child today? Did I make the child's day better? And if I can answer honestly to myself, yes, your class smiled today, I think we have achieved what we would like to achieve. You don't have to go and do huge, big things, because every little thing you do matters to someone, somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like the message because I firmly believe that God has put a spark, as we have a spark plug in a scooter. Everyone has a spark. One should get up and understand how we can light up that spark and light up one's life, and with that example inspire someone else. We also at Nirvana, we kind of try and share a small welcome gift, and I have something very interesting for you, which is called Life is Full of Gas.
No.
and it is for each one of us as to how we can make use of that gas.
Right. Oh,
Some
okay. Just hold
people,
it.
some people have gone and started a gobar gas plant. Some people have started a
I
gas
think in my
station,
case-
but life is all about having fun and enjoying.
Yes.
There is
It's really
a
pretty.
laughter, and if one can bring a laughter on someone's face, it's such
Right.
it's such a
Yes.
fulfilling moment. And that's it. We come to an end of another episode, and I'm so happy that Priya came. And we believe that these are small steps towards a path that I call the path to liberation. Play weak, get liberated. Pranam.